so they do have a plan after all, and they're fast into that A site.
They got them grenades. 2 CTs in A for the time being, and there's 2 people in CPL, maybe going for a short boost. Yes, indeed. So Na'Vi seem to have a hard read as to what's going on, but it's not quite what they thought it was, and now here it comes from QB5. They need to close the distance towards jungle because they left it open deliberately, so can they do that? Flashes there, Simple's forced back. There's a double pick though, but Simple goes down immediately, and now they've got multiple guns towards Edward. No more Edward. Jumping into the CPL position, Zeus will get one back, down to the 3-on-3.
Looking very good here, they got the bomb down. It's up to Flamey though. So often a superstar needs himself some decent one-taps here to save Na'Vi in this situation. Look at the positions though for QB5. They are loving this spot right now, using the team play, using the angles. They shut it down. Round number 1, the pistol, the must-win goes to them. And now we're going to see a very exciting situation because Na'Vi will be fighting with a poor economy. That's the AWP out of the Simple's hands and the likes of the Na'Vi lads for quite some time as QBF get to dictate the pace moving forwards in this one.
Towards the end of that round, you saw Quick with a really big smile on his face. I think he can feel the crowd here. And it's just Friday. These people have abandoned their jobs. They've called in sick. They've not answered their parole officers' phone calls, maybe. So there's a lot more people to come later on. Simple off to a good start in the middle area. 4-man peek, and Quick's in trouble. He might lose his AK, and the rest of his team have SMGs. This is a massive problem for QB Fire.
Yeah, this is really scary. They've taken almost the entire map, so whatever you do, Na'Vi will know there's only one way out of the situation, and that is to shoot your way out, and Jimka's working on it. He's very weak and Simple, back at it again. 3rd kill on the boards. What on earth is this? They talked about this guy, and again on the stage, it's nothing but amazing stuff out of him. Simple looking for the next players. They have such a good read, do Na'Vi, and it's because they have so much information. Oh, Simple looking for that quad kill with the scout. Flamey as well there to support. And QB5 realized there's no going into A at this point, really.
I liked Simple's adjustment, moving towards the triple position. It is almost like a semi-off angle as players move into the site looking towards CT. Can get a cheeky frag. It's a 5 versus 2. Smokes are down, but Simple is charging forward, looking for some tags. Hasn't made one just yet. Goes down after the 3K. Got Flamey looking around the smoke. QB5 got to get the bomb down fast. No cover for CT though. Electronic with the AK-47. Boomich doing what he can, but he's in a lot of trouble. He's in the red and he's dead. Na'Vi have reset the situation.
The classic mid-rush with the assist of Simple and that deadly scout causing so many problems. QB5, what's the response here? I mean, you would expect a force buy back as they want to try and attempt to reset their opponent's economy, but it should be, in some respects, easier on that T side to get some really strong rounds going. And again, any team worth their salt at this level should have some level of preparation as to how you would play a force buy like this. And we see an AK on Valina. That could be really, really good here for them. Simple, flashed out there into mid, takes a shot from that scout. Maybe there's a chance here for QB5. They should have a good take-off mid here. Edward is still getting some info, though.
Scout collected by Waterfalls from a fallen teammate. Often see SK in a similar position around a smoke like that you see from Simple as well. Just keeping an eye on any potential boosts from their opponents. Na'Vi in the driving seat for the time being. And they're ramming QB5's car off the bridge. So Boomich, he's got one down, but he can't do any more damage than that. So it wasn't really much that QB5 got out of that round. And now comes a Glock round, so it's time for Na'Vi to build themselves some money.
Na'Vi have 3 AK-47s, James, into round 4. That is not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
You don't want to start your buy round with Simple and Flamey on the CT side with AK-47s, and presumably Electronic as well. That's not a good look.
Yeah, it's been very, very tough to break this. Obviously the full eco as well, so a chance for Na'Vi to build even more economy. So QB Fire, after that pistol round victory, it's all been downhill from there. And they'll be in a position where they have absolutely, well, they have so much money to burn away from Na'Vi's perspective. They'll have so much in the stores that they'll be able to bring out these big buys. The AWPs will keep on coming. That is quite something to overcome, but we've seen them overcome very incredible odds already this tournament. So looks like it'll just be one flash to rule them all. try to get that bomb down, get that extra bit of money into the next rounds. That's the only real objective they have here. Getting picks with Glocks is not very realistic, and Flamey's in position to deny them. Very nice spectacle here from Flamey with that 4K off the AK-47, just warming up.
It's a perfect round from Na'Vi. Once again, no plant from QB Fire. No one lost for Na'Vi, and this isn't a round where they need to buy up because of the previous proceedings. Zeus has a UMP, but he may choose to play close with that, or may be aggressive. We'll have to wait and see. But the rest of them have got the rifles again. Still 3 AKs on Na'Vi, which almost evens things up. So these duels, QB Fire better be on point, because Na'Vi's points will be trained on their heads. Flamey, 9 kills, 1 death already.
I wonder if we'll see some of those double flashes to try to help them take mid and avoid any aggressions. QB Fire, you can see that some nades, lots of aggression from Na'Vi. They have a lot of bank to burn, so they can take these risks. And Flamey, he's gotten himself 2 there. No trade. Looking to escape middle here. Takes another battle. Waterfalls is happy for that, though. An opportunity to get back in this one now. As Simple is the next problem to overcome here by Connector. He's got Edward for support as well, as Velina tries to dart through the smoke. Good flashbang there onto Connector. Velina has gotten a forward position, and they smoke ahead of him as well. This is really nice from QB5, but they still have so much left to do in this round.
Mitch is moving through B-Apps, but as you can see, Zeus has gone deep already. Again, closing the distance with that UMP and getting early information for his team. The bomb's still top mid for the time being, and Waterfalls is taking damage in mid, but he's got to go and collect the bomb soon enough. Velina's been lost in the middle position as well, so B-Mitch pretty much, I was going to say, has to win this duel. He turned away for a second, so it seems the mid-round to late-round calling isn't really there for QB Fire in this round. And now Waterfalls is left at 15 HP, so uncertainty for QB Fire when they're struggling with these rounds. I think that was quite telling on the back and forth of apartments, and death will be slow here for Waterfalls. 2 HP now, and we await the inevitable. 4 AK-47s on the CT side.
Yes, that is very, very scary. Their money is just completely out of control. And the problem about that is not necessarily that they can just have like crazy amounts of buys. It's kind of the the lead-on question to that. It's the fact that with all that money, they can take crazy risks. Look at the aggression from Na'Vi so far. They're overwhelming QB Fire. They haven't been able to really have any space to set up across the map to run any rounds because Na'Vi are just in their faces repeatedly. So back to the pistols once again for QB Fire.
After this round, presuming QB Fire lose, they will be at maximum loss bonus, so they'll have the big buy coming in. Ooh, let's have a look at this wall of smoke then. Some gaps have been left. Let's see, Flamey choosing to fight, but he's blind. Boomich gets taken down. The bomb's still being carried by the T side. Can they get the bomb down for some bonus money? The CTs will take the bomb down in their own way. And now Quick is left. Only Flamey's been lost. Zeus making sure that Quick is very, very dead. Plus some extra dead and some bonus dead as well. Dead as a lobster in a Boston restaurant. 5-1 Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very tough for QB Fire so far, but they have the money to get the buy-in as well. I'm curious whether they'll pick up the AWP. Waterfalls does have 6.2k, so one would expect that, being the dedicated AWPer, and that could be sort of the X factor that they need to deal with this aggression that Na'Vi are throwing at them on their buy rounds. And you can see that Na'Vi are just trying to put them to breaking point through their incredible pressure. So that is the first thing that QB Fire have to deal with. So we'll see if it's something that will end up backfiring for Na'Vi, or if maybe Na'Vi will say, hang on, we're just going to play passive now and see how you deal with that. The ball is so very much in Na'Vi's court at this point in time. And we have a tactical there from QB Fire as they will get on the same page, perhaps calm their nerves somewhat, and figure out the approach for this round.
Well, let's see what QB have in mind. The mid area is proving dangerous at all parts of the round, be it early, mid, or late. So how do QB Fire deal with that? Na'Vi seem to want to force them off, and if they can hold mid, then maybe that'll stop the T executes, but Simple gets taken down early, and Zeus is taking a lot of damage. So we've got colossal problems for Na'Vi very early on. Rotations coming in, and now Edward gets tagged as well.
Very nice shot there from Waterfalls, and indeed just Simple trying to make it very confusing, trying to go for a pick, and they haven't seen that angle just yet from Na'Vi, so that's massive that QB Fire are able to defend that pick in middle, or that pick attempt from Simple. He's out the picture for now. Zeus also not in a great position with that low health situation that he's working with, and QB Fire for the first time in this match have a lot of space on the map to work with, as Na'Vi have to play passive. creeping towards the B apartments though, and it feels as though Na'Vi could be quite ready for this.
This is curious though, because QB have got 2 people on A ramp, so do you wonder if they're selling a solid fake, if someone's going to go in suicide, or if the bomb's going to perhaps rotate through the underpass, which might be dangerous because they've got no presence mid, no presence top mid, so that would be quite something. Boomich taken down, trying to jump over Sandwich. Now has pulled one player, Electronic, making his way towards the A site, but he's stopped. He's going back towards B. Waterfalls was on A as well, but he's rotated. Has the fake worked out for them? Electronic spotted in the market position, can't find a kill. 3 players versus 3. Lots of players tag. The double peek is perfect. Now we're down to the 2-on-2. Edward looking at apartments, but there's nobody there. Waterfalls in the back. Edward will surely hear him, but he's fired a shot. They're both missing. They're whiffing. Who's going to land the shot first? Tagging, but Valina's been taken down in the meantime. There are 12 seconds. The round's been won by Na'Vi because the bomb's not planted. Flamey doesn't face and he wins. Surely doesn't face. 5 seconds to finals. Waterfalls running. He's got his knife out. He should at least have his bloody pistol out that.
I think he just wanted to die after time. I don't know, that was a weird situation because you either like save that orb or you try to die after time. I think he was kind of conflicted either way. And very desperate situation, as you said. Edward at that short position, absolutely key for Na'Vi's defense there to hold that fake. And that's one question we have to ask as well. Is that fake a little bit too complicated? Is it a little bit too elaborate from QB5's perspective? But now that they've shown that their willingness to go for fakes, that will also slow down Na'Vi's rotations perhaps later on if they read into it too much. So it could help them later on, potentially. Once again, the half buy is in.
Zeus in the B-bomb site alone for the time being. Edward deep and aggressive in the middle position. But Valina's in the middle of mid, so he doesn't seem to be too afraid. Now the rush towards B-bomb site. They managed to avoid the flashbang, but can they trade? Yes, they can. But Edward's around the window position. Only sees the heads, can't really land the fatal shot. Jumka gets taken down, more trades, but it's buying time for the CTs to rotate. Electronic gets his bell rung, and there he goes. Flamey now trying to finish things off. Waterfalls on low health, 30 HP. Flamey will avoid the flames and bring QB5 to their knees once again. Na'Vi charging through the first half of Mirage, 7-1.
Yeah, defense looked a little bit sloppy there from Na'Vi's side of things, but it doesn't really matter that it is just a scrap fest, a slugfest in the end. They have, again, such an unreal amount of money to play off of. And wow, 17-3, Flamey is having quite the game so far. It's only been 9 rounds, or 8 rounds, James. He's already got 17 kills and an assist. Let's not forget about that.
Life is good if you are Flamey. The mid battles are quite interesting here. QB on the buy once again. 4 people towards the A bomb site. It looks like it will be A with smokes. We have seen some variations. The bomb is dropped on the floor for a teammate to collect. Always got to be careful where that bomb hits the floor because it can give your plan away. Boomich taken down for free, moving out of Palace. Flamey in aggressive position, goes down to the shadow area, and you see the rotation. Almost 3 people towards the site already, but no one can stop Flamey. He just will not be shot down.
Simple's there as well, and Flamey wasn't enough. Before you get to Flamey, maybe you have to go through Simple. That's not an exciting prospect for QB Fire. And now this is interesting because you have to wonder, what's it like as far as the calling is going for QB Fire? Are they just too afraid of trying to play defaults, trying to take map control from Na'Vi because of their crazy aggressions, because of the prospect that Simple could be around any different corner at any different round with that AWP? I think they have to try to earn Na'Vi's respect. They've got to be able to crush middle to move this map forwards and get off that that singular round that they're on at the moment.
Tactical timeout from QB Fire. How do we solve the mid position? How do we slow the rounds down? How do we stop losing players early? How do we stop Na'Vi from imposing their will? How do we turn off Flamey?
Well, you know what they say, James, you fight fire with fire. And right now, Na'Vi are definitely winning that battle.
Seems QB need napalm rather than fire dan. They need something more powerful to deal with Flamey. And Simple's he's just chilling out. He's just by the fridge, seeing what's inside, seeing what's good. It's allowing Flamey to do his thing. And I think a good Flamey performance is more telling than a good Simple performance because Simple has been so consistent for Na'Vi. And again, Valina taken down very, very early. QB Fire already facing a 4 versus 5. It is a pistol round though, so you won't get too excited about it. And I don't even know at this point what goal you have as QB Fire because the damage for the time being is almost inconsequential. Edward needs to look to his right-hand side.
Oh, awkward. Very awkward, but he should be okay. He's got support coming in as well. Flamey like, I'll have that. 2 extra frags for me to add to my tally. It's already quite impressive. Simple getting tagged down. Oh my goodness, Boomish gets a nice Deagle headshot, but that is just a small consolation kill for the likes of QB Fire, as now the score stands 9 for Na'Vi to the 1 of QBF. Things looking very difficult, and this is the round. This is the round in which we can start to see an adjustment from QB Fire. It better be a good one, and I would still really, really like to see some solid mid-takes and just them being able to shut down Na'Vi there. Force Na'Vi into passive positions, even going down 4-4, be able to develop a split off of connector control or ladder room control, something of that ilk would be good.
They don't have control that. It's 9-1. Na'Vi are in full control, my friend. Yes, they're on the buy once again. Forced into passive positions, even top mid, waiting for a push, fearing a push. Pop flashes from Redwood towards the B bomb site. But Jumka is passive as well. QB Fire living afraid at the moment, trying to hide under the cupboard. Waiting for aggression from Na'Vi, and now you see it. Apartment smoked off. Zeus moving forward, warning shots. QB Fire now with 2-3 people, top mid. They feel it's safe to come out from the shadows.
Well, maybe it's not for too long. Electronic peeks out, takes down the in-game leader. The trade's there, though, from Quick. Very responsible, diligent stuff. And there's a smoke for Simple as well. What's the play for Simple here? Does he allow himself to be locked away? Well, they have 2 players. They can boost, and there it is. Edward over the top. Very nice, very courteous of Simple to allow the boost onto Edward as Simple makes a rotation through the market. And it's the A attack, but it's very telegraphed at this point. The bomb is not collected. This is very interesting. There's 40 seconds to go at the moment. The bomb will be picked up, but this has actually been a good pause here from QBF, because now Na'Vi is starting to doubt. Maybe they're trying to sell them a fake again.
What's crazy is if Flamey checks around the corner of the ramp and sees nobody's there, he may go back. They may send more people towards the B bomb site, but the bomb is soon on the way, and all the T's making plays are quite telling. Flamey is invincible. 26 for 3. This is round 11. He's finally died. And maybe he'll rise again. I don't know. Jimka's alone, 1 versus 3 as the clock ticks down. Now they don't want to engage him anymore, but he will be chased. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, at least he just about dies in time. 1 second on the clock. Na'Vi are playing with them. It's a dog with a chewy toy, Dan. There's saliva all over the place.
This is just outrageous stuff from Flamey. He is looking so sharp at the moment. Look at those kills. It's like he is just playing against bots, just playing, pistol deathmatch, or, well, he's using a rifle, so that'd be kind of OP, but he is OP at the moment. He's killing everyone.
We haven't even mentioned that the crowd, whether they cheer for QB Fire or don't, they might be a factor, because this team have come from nowhere. They've come from relative obscurity, and now they're in the middle of Boston, in the middle of a stage, with fans surrounding them from every direction. And that's significant pressure. And they may feel afraid to run their own game. Flamey's been given that AWP. He's got new toys to play with. Christmas has come again for Flamey. Maybe his teammates will just leave the site and let him go on his own.
Oh my God.
They've taken down Flamey, and now they must face Simple. But there's only one person left. They're facing the Gatling gun, the one-man Gatling gun of Flamey.
James, I think Flamey's the juggernaut. I think Flamey is the juggernaut right now. This is unbelievable. He's not leaving any kills for his teammates.
He saw Oscar's stats on, I think it was Cash, and he's like, okay, all right, I got you. Frag 28, frag 29.
Oh my God. He's looking to break some records.
All right then, 11-1. Flamey on the cusp of the 30 bomb. Looking to average 2 kills a round. Well, pistols again for QB Fire. Where is Flamey? The only man on the A bomb site. He is the sentry. He's a turret.
He is going to be out of the picture in this round, though. Zeus Electronic, they get to have some frags, perhaps, as the entire team of QB Fire is spotted. Behind the fire, the flashes go in, the grenades continue to rain forwards as there's no way to get out the apartments. Only one is out. It's Boomich. He does get himself a quick kill with the P250, but how much else can he do? Well, apparently there is more left. There's more gas in the tank. Electronic, though, with the 2K, was hiding there all along. Now Waterfalls is left with no Kevlar amid P250 and against Flamey in a 1v1. That's not very fair.
Surprise.
And we have it. 30 bomb. Absolutely unbelievable. In 13 rounds, he has 30 frags. What do you even say about this guy right now, James? He's just taking over the game. Oh, there we go.
Flamey is all the way in. Operation stay away from Flamey. Oh, but then there's Simple. If it's trouble you seek, it is Simple you will find. Shutting players down in the middle area, and he cannot be stopped. And here is Flamey again. Here is Flamey again. 2 players left. The bomb's top mid. I don't know if there's been any point where QB Fire has been able to make a play other than the pistol round. That was their time to shine.
This is crazy. I mean, Flamey is surely on the road to breaking some records here. This is unbelievable.
He just broke the record.
The record is broken. That is unbelievable. I can't believe how well he's playing at the moment. I hope he can carry this performance forwards. Has been pretty consistent throughout the last couple of weeks as well. But let's not count QB Fire out of this round here. Jumka and Waterfalls, they have control of mid. If Waterfalls can get a pick here, that would be pretty huge. They have some time, but there is, of course, Edward in and around the smoke. Jumka will get the trade there, but Flamey is back in the action playing connector. And again, you know, if you want a player, if there's one player in your CT setup that you want to be hot, it is the player on connector, because it's one of the biggest fragging positions on the map from the CT side. It's one of the positions where you have to make the most decisions. So it's very pivotal. You have your best or one of your best players in that spot.
32 for 5. We're running out of space for the ADR scale. So maybe it's just Flamey Cam at this point. They will send 2 people on a campaign. Cannon fodder, perhaps. Flamey just searching for frags everywhere. Literally has nothing to lose at this point. Just go and seek kills. Seek and destroy Flamey. He's keeping an eye on things towards B bomb site, spotting one player, but that player will scurry away back through the smoke, and Flamey lurks. He waits, seeking his prey. Perhaps Kvik will be the first sacrifice. Flamey is a thirsty god.
God is an apt description. Valina, though, straight in there. He's got a good position. Electronic taken down as well. Chances here now for Quantum Bellator Fire in a 4 versus 3. I'm not sure if that's even happened in this half just yet in the buys versus the buys. And they've got a minute to play with as well. This is actually very promising for them. Beamish in position by Palace. Na'Vi at the moment, they only have 1 player spotting into A, but it is Simple, and he does have an AWP as well as some grenades. So this will be quite difficult. He has not had too much action just yet, so Simple is going to be very ready for this one.
There's time on the clock for QB Fire. They've got time. Is there a cover for CT, though? Surely it's Kvik. No one's actually... Okay, Jimka's got a tight angle, but that is a very desperate one. He managed to get the bomb down, and maybe Kvik will be important going forward. Maybe flanking a player in mid. Simple seeking something. Will this be a second round for QB Fire? Kvik manages to pick off Zeus despite being low health. There's a deagle, but misses a shot. Now it's down to Edward, 1 versus 4. It's the last round after all in the first half. And QB Fire look good for a second round, a desperate second round.
Wow. 13-2. That is quite the scoreline, but it was quite the performance from Flamey. And you wonder, you know, if he was having an off day, what would have happened? Would it have been Simple that stepped up? He looked ready at multiple chances, but it's all been about Flamey here on this stage. Quantum Bellator Fire have a lot of work to do to get back into this one.
Sell out. Hashtag sell out. Take your screenshots. Right then. You would almost think that Na'Vi were on the T side. But no, now it's their turn to be the aggressors. But we will have a few seconds before this match resumes. QB Fire need to stay composed, keep their focus. Yes, the chips are down, but we've still got some chips. Pistol round will be very key. There is Flamey with absolutely absurd statistics, 32 for 6. Breaking the world record for kills in 1 half. The world did it with 31, but now Flamey saying, what is up now?
One of his ex-teammates, actually, I think. If anyone remembers, was it that team, I think, that Blade used to run? I think Bonnick was in that team as well. But great to see Flamey, a player that has had his ups and downs, having a great tournament so far at this major. And this is quite the predicament, isn't it? I think we definitely did see Quantum Bellator Fire having some confidence issues here or there in that last half. I think Na'Vi, they were overwhelming. They were very scary, especially with all the pressure they put in straight away at middle with that big bank that they were running, with the 4 AKs that they were running. It couldn't really have been more ideal for Na'Vi. But into the second half, QB Fire, they need this pistol so desperately.
QB Fire have 3 people stacked in the A site, which is going to be important because Na'Vi have 5. 2 smokes going down and a lot of flashbangs. Carefully selected angles, and here they come, trying to play the numbers game. So far, so good for QB Fire. 2 kills for him, no answer yet from Na'Vi. Zeus down as well. Flamey and Simple remain. Can they get anything out of this? Flamey, only the 1 kill this time. Simple versus 4. He's got a P250 at least, so he's got some extra range for these headshots. 1 versus 3 now for Simple. 1 kill in this round so far. Looking for a re-peek, but they can just wait for him to come out of the palace and double or triple peek him, and surely it should be too much to ask, but Simple's the more experienced player. Can he get QB to make a mistake? You see the re-peeks, just making sure Simple's still there, but that might cost him his life. There is the peek coming out. QB Fire win both pistol rounds, but how far can it take them?
And it was something, you know, that was commented on the desk by Sean. Obviously, he did the analysis of how QB Fire play their rotations on CT train. And so obviously that is something that we also know is, when we've seen them playing the likes of Inferno, they're also very good at this. So this is when we would start to see them maybe entering somewhat of a comfort zone as far as their game plan is concerned. But the issue is that, how is their confidence levels at the moment? Will they be making the plays that they should? Let's see if they can convert against the Deagles. 5 Deagles in the hands of the likes of Flamey, Simple, Edwin, Electronic. So it's very, very scary prospects. And Na'Vi will be playing for these picks, looking to whittle down QB Fire, or even if they lose the round, to make it hurt for QB Fire.
Zeus with the Honey Badger Deagle. Not really finding anything. Boomich has made his way to top mid. Oh, okay, goodbye Zeus. Thanks for coming. Boomich, not afraid to be aggressive. And this is a great sign. Oh dear, okay. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Let's see if these Deagles can do more. Simple's taken down. The bomb is in no man's land, so a plant is unlikely for Na'Vi. Waterfalls has to keep his cool here. Down to 16 HP now. Backing off, but Boomich will take his place and finish off the job. Now the bomb's collected by Electronic. Spotted and swatted. But I was going to say, QB Fire are not afraid to play their game. They've got cool heads. They've got very active CT sides. I think Boomich was just raising his arms there for the crowd, so they're not afraid of the atmosphere, of the environment. But now the AKs are coming.
Yes, Flamey is coming, James. He's going in with that AK-47. We can't imagine anything else. It's going to be very interesting to see the style Na'Vi play here. We can expect them to not go super hard on mid-takes. That's generally not what we've seen from their Mirage recently. And you can see that mid is abandoned. The early timings. Flamey, though, finds himself for the first pick onto Valina, challenging at pit. And that is going to be a regrettable scenario for him. Flamey swaps off the AK now that he's so low, but he's done his job. Zeus also creating presence towards the B side of the map here. But Quantum Bellator Fire, they have a good vision across the map. They've got players in middle and playing retake on A as well. So their setup generally is very, very good to deal with more or less anything and get the information to make the calls.
1 minute 10 and the smokes have dissipated from the B bomb site. Now Na'Vi will play the numbers game, expecting more CTs elsewhere because of the forward position that they presumably have. Zeus running wide. Even if Zeus went down, his teammate had a good chance of trading there because he ran wide. And now Quick is on the site, Quick is on the site versus 3 CTs, but he can't get the kill. Flamey just waiting with the CZ. And now leaving Waterfalls alone with the scout. Can he find anything? Have they detected him just yet? He is being surrounded, and Simple will do the job. QB Fire lose an early round in the second half, 14-4.
Yeah, Flamey again just doing so much impact work there, obviously getting the first kill, giving the AK away to a teammate because he was low, and then taking like a very late lurk position. And right now, Na'Vi just going from strength to strength. The confidence is high. They're really feeling their game at the moment. And again, Quantum Bellator Fire, they could not really afford to lose a round like that. Now they have M4s. It's Velina stuck on a CZ. It's not ideal. Usually you would see aggression to mitigate this disadvantage. That's what we're going to see there. Deep flash for Boomich. Can he get something done? There's one. There's number two and the bomb. Beautiful there for QB5. Lots to work with. And also taking down the support from Underpass. Not many options here, but Flamey's definitely always going to be one. Oh, he gets two. Of course he does.
Down to 40 HP. Simple has almost regained the bomb. Has he heard the person in Naps? He looked for someone. Not sure if he saw them. It's an off angle, and Boomich will get taken down as well. And it's just Jumka. We spoke about Flamey and Simple, and they've brought it back. Match point for Na'Vi, and you can't see it going any other way at this point.
It's insane when you see players like Flamey and Simple in that position, because the numbers advantage, the position advantage, the information, everything was with Quantum Bellator Fire in that situation. But Simple and Flamey, they just said no. They simply said, no, you're not going to take this round. We decided that we're going to win this one, and you will promptly die. Flamey up to 37 kills now.
Collecting an AK, dropping an M4 for a teammate. Maybe looking for entries on the A site. Can Flamey get to the 40 bomb? This may be the last round. QB Fire on the force by some pistols, some smoke grenades, some bits and bobs. It is a less than ideal situation. You'll hear the flash being deployed, repositions, going to get aggressive. Flamey's ready for it. He's looking for it. He's hungry for it. Boomich, does he dare re-peek? Seeing the player on the ramp, it seems that QB Fire will, in fact, make an aggression towards the Palace, expecting nobody to be there. And they're right. So now Velina's got high ground position on Flamey, but will he expect this?
That is a good question. Well, there you go. Waterfall's going to go down. Electronic picks it up in mid. Quick! Gets himself a fast one there, living up to his name. Can't get out of there in one piece, unfortunately for him, though. Electronic with the trade. Pistols need to do a bit more here to get some advantages rolling in. Na'Vi, they have all the info. They've got the picks that they want. Now they can, if they want, go back for the bomb, but they're still taking some fights. Confident, very confident. Nice there.
Goodbye.
But Flamey is ready. He is in absolutely just crazy form at the moment. His confidence is something else in this position. Boomich, though, a 1v2 with a Deagle. Is he good for it? Ooh, that was a pretty clean snap, but doesn't land a shot. 16-4, Na'Vi and Flamey mostly. Very dominant performance, shutting down the newcomers, Quantum Bellator Fire in map 1.
39 kills for Flamey. Give that man a round of applause, guys. Come on. Absolutely ridiculous performance. Stop it, Flamey. They're already dead. Monstrous stuff for Mirage. More Counter-Strike to come after the break. See you back here soon.
Flamey's in position to deny them. Very nice spectacle here from Flamey with that 4K.
Bomb is soon on the way, and all the T's making plays are quite telling. Flamey is invincible. Flamey's been given the AWP. He's got new toys to play with. Christmas has come again for Flamey.
Yep, QB Fire's chances of winning that map went down in flames. Incredible performance there from Na'Vi on Mirage, and QB Fire, this is what it's about when you come to these big tournaments, and this is the kind of opposition you go up against. Different kind of pressure, different kind of environment, and Na'Vi very much at home on that stage.
You can just see the style with which Na'Vi came out in this game. You know, despite losing the pistol round, and that was an ace by Quick, they just forced buy straight after that, win that, and they never looked back after. You can see the aggression on the CT side, not being afraid to take fights all over the map, mostly towards mid, and I mean, you can't not talk about Flamey in this particular game. Almost broke the record for most kills in a regulation game, and in only 20 rounds.
Yeah, in only 20 rounds. I mean, if we work out the numbers, I'm sure that's going to be the best performance of anybody at a major. Incredible scenes. But Sean, I'll come to you. You said going into this game, you were like, hey, the guys don't have great T-sides. Definitely don't. You said they got to win the pistols. They did. This still happened.
Yeah, this was QB dumpster fire. No, this was honestly hard to watch. This was really hard to watch. Na'Vi at no point in this game felt threatened, and that does not bode well going to the next map. Like this was really hard to watch.
That is insane. I have never seen anyone get 180 ADR.
Yeah, that's literally
over
unreal.
A regulation game. Never seen it. So I mean, I guess we'll talk about it. We sort of highlighted before we needed other people to start stepping up on this Na'Vi team. This is probably the first time I can think of where we're not talking about Simple dominating weaker opponents and dragging Na'Vi through a game. Flamey just did what Simple does all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he definitely stepped up massively. You could see he was doing it with, you know, different guns. He was doing it in different types of rounds, right? Whether it was a gun round, whether it was with pistols and so forth. And that's the problem when we talk about QBF and depth, right? You just see Flamey just creeping through them. You need to find a way to make it more about the team, use more utility, try to, you know, isolate him, try to make it difficult for him to find these fights.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely just giving him too many fights, and a lot of those, there was like those weird comeback rounds where Na'Vi actually was out of a lot of those rounds, and they would just grind back into it. They would keep getting fights. They'd get like weird flank kills in situations where they're at disadvantages, which typically doesn't happen.
Especially towards the very end. I mean, the 2v5 that him and Simple managed to pull off. I mean, that's something that should never happen. You can see the continuous aggression for QBF guys even after having that initial advantage. I think that speaks to the frustration they were feeling at the time, you know, just getting crushed by Flamey and the rest of the Na'Vi guys. But, you know, you need to find a way to work through it, to fight through it. It is your map pick in the end. You know, looking at the big picture, try to at least get a little bit more warmed up for map number 2. You know, if you're not necessarily going to come back on Mirage and win that game, you know, you lost so quickly, you didn't really get into the game and you already have to play map 2.
Well, I think that's the tough thing for them. Unfortunately, they're now going to Na'Vi's pick. I highlighted it a little bit going in, how Inferno is a map that I really don't think you want to play Na'Vi on right now. You can see here in Boston, they played it twice, they won it twice. Once against Big, that ridiculous comeback where they lost the pistol, won 16 in a row to close it out. The other time, I think, was against Team Liquid, I want to say. I think did they play it against Fnatic?
Fnatic.
Yeah, I thought that was correct. It was in the back of my mind. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Na'Vi on this map, they are unbelievable. And now things are looking very grim for QB Fire.
Yeah, they played it, I think, even 4 times across both stages, and the opponents never got double digits. So definitely the comfort map for Na'Vi at the moment. But if you look at QBF, they have 2 things going for them on this map. One, they managed to beat Gambit on it, who are a very, very strong team, and they managed to grind it out on the T side and then in overtime. And second thing, they already played against Na'Vi and lost. And we have this thing where you don't want to play the same team on the same map twice in the same tournament, right? If you're the losing team, you always have so much more to look back on and change things and fix things and then come into the second encounter much better prepared. But I say all that, I just think the obvious discrepancy in firepower, in skill is going to be too much for QBF to overcome.
And Sean, I know you like statistics, so I got some bad news for QB Fire fans, because it turns out on Inferno, Flamey does pretty well, actually. Yeah,
he's
only going to get worse from
He rocks
here.
that second off on Inferno really well,
Yeah.
but I think, honestly, if they didn't start off with those weird economic upsets in the second round of both halves, it might have looked like a different game. Like, Navi played super aggressive on their CD side, and I don't think that'll change going into Inferno, so I think QB Fire has to be ready for it. But like Yanko said, once you play a team on a map and lose to them in a tournament, most teams don't like to revisit that map. So it's kind of surprising that Navi went with Inferno. They're just so comfortable on it. Like,
and in terms of positives for QB Fire, if we need to find something along those lines, you know, you would say Waterfalls in that Gambit game, he was revelatory. He made a lot of picks, especially when they were able to take banana control, get up there, you know, opening the picks on Coffin, seemed very comfortable with his angles and his pre-fire spots. I kind of feel like there's so much weight on his shoulders, especially on that T side.
There definitely is, and especially because you know Navi, after such a dominating performance on Mirage, they are going to be aggressive on Inferno as well, so you need to be on point individually. Something that might go towards QBF's way a little bit is that Inferno has more narrow choke points, right? It's more difficult for you to find those fights, to find those individual duels, at least where you would be in an advantageous position. So that might get QBF into the game. And something that we were also discussing in the pregame is there's no doubt Navi is very, very good playing from ahead, but how good they are playing from behind. So if QBF can get off to a good start, you know, yes, they won both pistols, but it didn't convert. In that sense, it's not winning both pistols, right? They didn't get off to that 3-0 start. So if they can get off to that strong start early on and force Navi to play pure gun rounds and play with some respect, that's where maybe they have a chance to make an upset.
But with all that said, you
Navi
expect
wins.
Yeah, Navi wins. You expect them to close it out. Sean, do you agree?
I do, but I think this game is going to be closer. Like, that game just seemed like such an anomaly watching it. Like, Navi was just so far ahead in every round. I just can't see that happening on Inferno. We've seen QB Fire look better on Inferno, so Mirage was definitely an interesting pick by them, but yeah, hopefully we see something better.
All right, well, we're going to find out in just a few moments. First, there is a break. Then when we return from that, we're going to get back into the action. Navi versus QB Fire for a semi-final spot. We'll see you in a few moments.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Boost Mobile Caster Desk. I'm here with James, I'm DDK. We're about to jump into map 2 between QB Fire and between Na'Vi. Very dominant performance, James, from Na'Vi and from Flamey in particular. We saw his stats on Inferno. Do you believe that the QB lads have it in them?
Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't think they're going to get wrecked as bad as they.
I
have to cancel a few words out there.
All right.
I don't think they're going to get wrecked as bad as they
Give us some hope, James.
On Mirage. But again, Inferno was the map where to me, watching their CT side was the most stimulating. I mean, yes, they tried to do something on the T side, but that was absolutely taken away. But trying to do the same thing on the CT side of Inferno is arguably a lot more risky for any team to do. So I don't think we're going to see the same kind of plays from Na'Vi that we saw on Mirage, which lends itself to QB. I think the CT hold on Inferno in general is a lot more brittle than it is on Mirage, and the risks are higher as well. So your money can very quickly disappear. So I think we'll see a more disciplined Na'Vi, and that may allow QB to actually have a few more seconds to try and play their own game.
I like it, I like it. Now you're being a beacon of hope, James. That's good. That's
a beacon. Good. I've always wanted to be a beacon.
Yes. Well, you're very tall, so I think it does make sense. But yes, it's going to be interesting to see if Waterfalls can really get off to his game, because, again, they mentioned on the desk, one of the things that I noticed when I watched them playing Inferno was all of his plays with the AWP on the CT side. But enough about that. We're into the action. Na'Vi on the T side. QB5 gets starting their preferred side for once. Let's see if that is going to help them out, and if they can continue pistol dominance here as Na'Vi start to press up onto the middle position.
Moving very quickly are the side in yellow, black and yellow as the jerseys are, as well as the polos. No frags yet, and Na'Vi continue to close the distance. Will they try and push Arch and CT? They still have Simple at the bottom of Banana, maybe looking for a rotation, and they're playing the numbers game. Now where do the CTs go? Jumka trying to force his way backwards, almost, he right-clicks by accident. Has the QQ, and now Jumka, he's got to deliver a kill. He has to, but he won't. It's down to Felina, the last man standing now. Quantum Fire, the Quantum Bellator Fire, really need this pistol round. Can he get any more kills? Doing really well. Huge K do it into the red, but too many man.
Too many man. Definitely a very cool round from Na'Vi. They tried to create chaos. They tried to thrive in the chaos, and it almost bit them in the backside, but they closed it out in the end. So the first pistol to Na'Vi in this series, and they're on the T side, of course, so it'll be quite interesting to see how they like to play this. Again, it's a very experienced team, a team that we can expect discipline from. We have the MAC-10s on Edward and Simple. These players can gather information around the map and ascertain what is going on with the CT setup. Are they stacking A, are they stacking B, or is Felina in your face with a scout?
Na'Vi clearing the top of Banana, but will they commit to the bomb site? They're not really going for the information, just running straight in, and that's going to cost some damage at the very least. And they're running into a triangle of doom almost, but one part has been smoked off. Electronic being taken down as well, and you start to wonder if this rush was really necessary. Maybe some overconfidence from Na'Vi. They're getting wrecked from every angle. It's down to Flamey now, the man who put them in a depressive state in the previous map. Can he do it once again? Slowly repositioning. That smoke will be his friend for a few more seconds, but it will soon disappear. Does he see the boost over the top? He does now, and they drop off again. Tagged to 81. 1 versus 3. QB Fire have not picked up any weapons apart from the MAC-10 onto Boomich, and that range is going to suck. Flamey, of course, has got his Kevlar, so that will be something. 1 minute for Flamey to play with. And he may wait for QB to make a mistake. He doesn't want to run the clock down, though. He'll continue to move around and try and get himself a 1 versus 1. Jumka spotting. Flamey instantly looking for a trade frag or someone to pop out to try and get a 2 versus 1. But nobody will take the bait. It's the one flashbang that Flamey has. I don't think he went deep enough. Spots Boomich as well. He knows where 2 of these players are. 30 seconds, picks up another grenade, deploys it. Doesn't go deep enough again. Doesn't get a kill after finally getting the duel. Quick, too fast. And that's QB back in the mix.
Very nice. That's going to give them a lot of confidence, being in that position that Na'Vi put them in previously. Now they do it back to Na'Vi. And again, this is really, really nice if they hold on to these following rounds where Na'Vi have weak buys. Of course, the force buy comes out now. That means AK on Simple. I can see that at the moment. The Eagles are out. Got some flashbangs, CZ, Kevlars. There's a lot of danger here for Quantum Bellator Fire, but they do, of course, have the advantages. And so if they close down these rounds, Waterfalls gets onto the AWP quick, then they can start trying to snowball Na'Vi. But they must first overcome these initial obstacles. to get their game going. I'm very, very excited to see what Simple has to offer with that AK-47 though. Jimka must be cautious. Do not want to offer an opening to the likes of Na'Vi in their current confident state.
That's quite a strong position for a smoke grenade. For those of you at home or in the audience, if you're expecting a rush from a T side, it's a nice place to get a smoke down. They are at a disadvantage, making plays such as that. He's getting cut to pieces. I've seen two people top banana, but they need to get this AK working before they start to lose all these pistoning players, but they seem to just be holding position for the time being. And now QB are getting aggressive, almost making a mistake. Perhaps they made one. Simple with one frag. Can he get second one? Moving up top mid, and Flamey will trade 3 versus 2 in favor of QB. You still have a man in the pit, a very important position as a 2-man rotation comes in from B.
It looked quite dangerous. He seems to know. Oh no! Oh, that could not happen for Valina. Edward gets a drop and in the clean drop, takes very little damage, picks himself up a UMP, as well as now getting a bomb plant and a winnable 2v2. Edwards up to the shenanigans there with the Deagle, but it's up to Flamey with the AK. Bringing the heat, bringing the power of that rifle. And you can see the facepalm there out of Jimka. They knew they should have taken that round. That is devastating to lose a round such as that. Na'Vi back in control again.
And guess who it is? It's Flamey with the 3K. Everything is A-OK. And for those of you in GoTV, I think at this point, Flamey seems to be the arch nemesis of the entire Quantum Bellator Fire team, organization, country of origin, everything. So let's see what Flamey can do. There is the man himself, wearing a very weird mask, it must be said, but everyone to their own. And now Na'Vi will continue with more AKs, and QB Fire have gone for the 4 spy, but what do they have in store for Na'Vi? Can they get anything done? Honestly, going back to the earlier rounds, I think it was not the best idea for Na'Vi to run into B, not really identifying anything, not having mollies at the back of the site, etc. They paid for it. Perhaps, though, they will be more disciplined now, respecting the smokes and the like from QB Fire, but Na'Vi look to investigate the apartments, and there is a big presence here from the CT side.
Could be dangerous, but it has a good bearing as to what's going on here. It's actually in a fairly decent position. This AK, they're not taking favorable challenges against Edward in this spot, but they really want to get a kill. They want to isolate him, they want to steal away the AK. So there is a bit of desperation there to make it work. And Flamey is going to break Valina's neck with that AK, pushing forwards, and the app's clearing it out, making it safe for Na'Vi. They are just after the kills at the moment. Apartments would typically be the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous positions on the map, but Edward finds himself a very nice gap there as well. They know where the QB5 players are, and they're happy to put the numbers in to just barrel them down with superior firepower. And so far, it's working. Another bomb site claimed, another frag for Flamey.
Quick and Jimka left to save at this point, and the hunt is on. Electronic does not have much to lose with the MAC-10. He starts to move up the banana position, and Jimka, I'm guessing, is going behind the barrels, and Electronic will rip his face off. Dental records for him. See if Quick can hold on to his French gun. Not a good start for QB Fire. Their CT side is where their fire is, in my opinion. We'll have to see if they have that fire once their buy round comes in.
Yeah, they really need that money. They really need the AWP on Waterfalls. They need Waterfalls to be confident. We'd see him making plays around the apartments with that AWP, moving around the map, keeping things unpredictable. But again, right now, Na'Vi have shown that they are going from strength to confidence at an all-time high, especially on the man Flamey. He has been absolutely ridiculous. It's hard to describe how well he's playing at the moment. And in the interest of having enough money for potential AWP, we are getting the full save from QB5. They're going to stack 4 players towards the A side of the map, as Edward will get his clipboard out and start to gather information as to what's going on towards B. And we already saw a very fast B round from Na'Vi, so perhaps they would expect a stack towards this B bomb site, but there's only one. And they're actually going to rotate into where the stack actually is. Nice flash. Doesn't do too much, though, for QB Fire.
That leaves Valina alone towards the A bomb site with his pistol. So we don't expect much from the CT side in this round. We look towards the buy of QB5 to see if they can do anything. Simple gets his bell rung, but that will not shy him away from going for it. I'm sure he'll be annoyed with that, but not the worst thing in the world. Oh. At least it wasn't a teabag. Don't turn the kettle on just yet. Jimka now hiding by the logs. Desperately trying to hold on to a UMP, but he won't even get that. So, let's see now. QB Fire, what will they have to offer Na'Vi in this round? Is there money for an AWP? There isn't quite yet, it doesn't seem like. And that's a problem for QB Fire, I think. That's a significant part of their repertoire. So they are already on the back foot. I think there's been a tactical timeout call to maybe discuss what to expect of their opponent and try to weather the storm.
And if you missed the first map between these two teams, Flamey broke a world record, taking it away from World Edit, most frags in a single half, and basically just dominated the entire match there. QB5 could not get going, and now moving into this one, things don't look amazing for QB5. They do have one round on the board, of course, and their first buy round is not going to feature an AWP, and that is, of course, it's a sad prospect, but perhaps they can earn their way to an AWP. Simple has one.
Kill it! You can't trust it. Kill it until it's dead.
Simple did look a bit frustrated with himself in the previous round if you were checking his player camera as he was missing those UMP shots, but...
That man has standards, Dan.
Let's see, we'll reach them with the AWP.
He's got them standards. Move away. The grenades are coming. Na'Vi clearing out the banana position as safely as possible, leaving QB Fire nowhere to stand. Jimka facing the wall. Hasn't been told off by teacher. He's expecting some flashbangs. If they come around the corner... Oh, no, he's got a... Is it a smoke trick of some description? Seems like it might be. So he had a lineup. Gimmicks are coming out. When you're down to the gimmicks on the CT side, life isn't going so well for you. Electronic not overextending, however. Just trying to bait out as many grenades as possible. Meanwhile, Na'Vi coming for the push up top, but Velina with the aggression moving into second mid. And they may expect that he's run back, but Flamey seems to have an idea. Or does he? Who's going to have the superior angle? Velina going deep with his angle. Coming out now, and he's good for it with the UMP. Up close. Meanwhile, the bomb's been dropped on Arch. So there are problems here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, that was really smart play by Velina. Gets the execution as well. Now down to Edward. Good flash in. Good frag, but Electronic is gone. Edward in a 1 versus 4 now. After already getting the FNAP Drake or has to waste to win the round for Na'Vi. QB Fire look really good, but perhaps now it's Velina's turn to get surprised as Edward turns the corner, bullet straight to the face. That's an AWP. Can Edward keep it alive? He's looking to save this now, I would imagine. Only 20 seconds, not enough time to win the round, but he can definitely cause some damage and try to offer this AWP back to Simple in the following round. And we can look at Simple's money. It's very bad. Edward will actually be able to perhaps sneak away. Good jump around the corner from Jimka. Eliminates Edward, grabs the AWP. That will find itself back to the hands of Waterfalls, its rightful owner.
Edward got whiplash at the end of that round. And there's G2. Team Headshots, bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Watching the proceedings, waiting for their own match. Sure, we'll see some nasty stuff from that team a bit later on. 4-2 is the score. QB Fire, they've got an AWP on Waterfalls. Still some shortcomings with Velina on a UMP, but they've got the big green gun, and that may be quite important for them. Simple, though, has one of his own. So dangerous times are ahead for the likes of QB Fire. It's 2 AWPs. Flamey has one as well on the T side. Very curious stuff. Flamey seems to work magic with anything in his hands. So let's see how it works out. Flamey keeping an eye across the bridge, through the window, see if any CTs are going for a balcony play or moving fast through apps. Very dangerous for the CTs to make that run these days. Minute 17 and QB5 with 3 people on the B bomb site. At this point, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's really additionally interesting just due to, as you mentioned, the double orbs. Just it's usually very hard to even make sometimes 1 AWP work on this map on the T side, and to take 2 is just, it slows you down a lot. It's not as dynamic as an AK-47, and it's a lot about just creating rotations and playing against them. Speaking of, Simple will catch Waterfalls, and that's a really big problem because you can definitely infer that he would be playing alone in that position, and they're not going to overreact here, Na'Vi. They're still just working on the overall map control. They've got top banana, they're working on top mid. They'll get that as well. 2 quick kills there. Velina and Jimka lost down to Quick and Boomich to try to save this round. And honestly, the odds, they are not good. Simple take down Boomich with ease. And the round will be won here by Na'Vi. There's not too much that Quick can really do. He'll perhaps attempt to get some damage in, but that's really the best case scenario. And he gets shut down by the AWP as well. Na'Vi don't lose a single man.
Double AWPT side, flawless victory. 5-2, and QB Fire are on pistols once again. A reset economy, life kind of sucks. Look at that snap from Simple. Looking pretty sharp at the moment. And you can maybe that's a warning shot for any opponents of the future, because Na'Vi do look in firm control for the time being, but it's still early days. There's still a way back for QB Fire. Some pistols have been purchased quick on the FAMAS. Now, the question is, how do QB Fire get themselves an advantage in a round such as this? 3 people playing deep on the B bomb site, maybe hoping for Na'Vi for an overextension, as we saw on the anti-force fire round.
One of the issues here as well for QB Fire is that they know that Na'Vi are playing with two AWPs, so like how does that actually, how do they consider that Na'Vi would best want to play around with that setup? Because it is quite limiting, and typically you would see slow plays, and if the AKs go down, like a couple AKs die, making plays like this, then all of a sudden the Yorps are in a pretty weird position without rifle support, but they will try to open things up here, working the picks around the corner, but it's Zeus to get the frag there onto Boomich. He's down by quad, and that will cause rotation away from B.
It's the minute mark, and I mean, QB Fire had 5 smoke grenades. One person died as one was deployed, so they've got a bit less now, but they are trying to kill that time, and it looks like they're going to try to get Na'Vi to make a play towards the B bomb site, but now Waterforce is alone towards A, and the last smoke is with Valina towards B, maybe for a panic push from Na'Vi, who are slowly moving back towards the A side. So let's have a look. Waterfall's taken down in the balcony position. Another rotation might come in for QB Fire, but surely it is too late to do anything. And with the players having bought Kevlar and so on, and being completely out of position, it might be time to try and hold on to what they have.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the smartest choice. Just have to bite the bullet at this point, but it looks like they want to play aggressive exits. But Na'Vi are very happy to go and meet them for the frags here. They're already scouring the map. Electronic might find action. Jimka waits at the bottom of Banana with that deagle of his. But it does seem like Na'Vi are actually playing this fairly safe at the moment, not really overextending too much. They've cleared a safe path to exit the bomb site safely. And Jimka, 2 connections but no frag. Very sad for him. Now Valina and Quick still alive, and doesn't really look like they'll go down in this position. So they'll be able to carry their Kevlars forwards into the next round. But what a horrible spot they're in at the moment. Their economy completely shredded by Na'Vi. And in this round, they won't have anything to work with either. They just really need to pure save and see if they can get something with these 2 guns that they have. Perhaps they can get a flash or 2. We saw some great pop flashes on mid. That was pretty nice. That's a favorite of the French teams, actually. They're often very good at that.
La flash is the term.
Le flash.
Oise Kenya saying La flash. Right then, 6-2, QB Fire. Is there a way into this half for you? That is the question. Probably not in this round, though. Probably lambs to the slaughter. Valina and Quick need to try to do what they can with what little they have, and it will be the double stack. They do have some protection from grenades top mid from that area, but they are somewhat exposed to the boiler position. But perhaps the player on the low ground has an angle towards boiler. Valina up close. A reminder, these P250s now, you've got to hit the dome twice. No more one-shots for those. Got to go for that 5-7 investment if you want that. So Valina will look at boiler, while double peak top mid will be in position. I do enjoy this this stack. Let's see what Na'Vi can do.
But he did just he just got hit by the fire there. That'll be a sound cue, an audible sound cue as to his position. So Na'Vi will have heard that and say, okay, there's a guy playing quad. So they know where Valina's standing, but that could be a big bait, and indeed it is. Flame was looking towards the quad position and gets taken down by the nice off angle from the stack, and they'll reposition. Great start here, 50 seconds to go. There's no option to go B for Na'Vi. They really have to commit to A at this point. And this could start to get a little bit sticky.
Na'Vi, they offered a fake towards B with 1 smoke in the CT position, but they're still not committing to anything just yet. And now there are 4 QB players alive. That might be a problem. However, it's only 2 on either site. Na'Vi slowly edging forward. Edward feeding information. Now Boomich becomes the bait because Velina is in this position. But now does Boomich go forward because they've seen Velina as well. 20 seconds left, and all the CTs are rotating towards A. Velina needs to stay alive, but he can't do it. Dancing around the smoke. There's the USP, and now it's quick. 1 versus 3. The bomb's being planted deep. He won't be able to stop it. Maybe the run's come to an end. 16 HP, 1 versus 2. Is he going to go for it? Maybe suicide if he does, and what can they afford to lose? Maybe looking for a weapon, dancing around the corner, finding the AWP, but Electronic will surely cut his wire short. Maybe not. I think he wants to go for it now, but he's wondering, has he seen enough in the def cam? Okay, cut our losses and keep the AWP. We need everything we can get for the rounds to come.
That all could make a big difference. Again, once it enters the hands of Waterfalls, we might start to see some plays made as they start to enter 4-buy territory. And interestingly, I'm not sure if they left themselves enough money if they hadn't saved it all. In fact, no, that they would have been able to buy one that had full nades and everything. So this is definitely a very big deal for them to be able to carry that into the next round. And this is where they really must start turning things around, because otherwise I fear for their chances in this series if they cannot do that. Already being a map down, Na'Vi already looking so confident across every situation. Okay, so what's Waterfalls going to be up to in this particular spot? He was very, very aggressive throughout the group stages. Looks like he is moving towards quad with that. Always playing the double peek here. So this is a cool setup here in the apartments. It's usually good for one. Let's see if Na'Vi can somehow circumvent that setup. There's only one player towards that position. It's Flamey at the moment. His job with Edward is to clear the apps, and slowly but surely they'll work on that as the rest of the team goes towards the top banana position. Smoke off there. When it's going to work out. Boomish with 2. Orb not required apparently. So now they've cut off that head of this push. Na'Vi are somewhat committed in towards B.
Yeah, and that smoke grenade was perfectly timed by Jumka, so Na'Vi couldn't really take any real estate in the meantime, and they don't have any flashbangs left. They've just got to go for raw peaks, but they've got the players to do it with. Simple's alive, Electronic as well. Zeus making his way forward, but the boost is there. Zeus trying to crouch underneath it just in case, so he's aware it could be an issue, and he's still looking for it. And now Jumka gets a frag regardless. Quick trades, and that leaves Simple alone. Picks up the AK, he knows he can't go AWP 1 versus 4. Got to go for the forward smoke to retrieve the bomb, which is in the existing smoke. Dodging the spray, and there's Boomich taken down. He was in the red already. 1 versus 3 now for Simple. 29 seconds. Dancing through bullets. Quick moving through construction. Looking for a player in Banana, but what's he going to do here? He's running out of time. I think he's spending too much time in this position. So I'm wondering, he doesn't have money. I mean, they've got enough money. He doesn't need to save. He's got to try and kill people, but that's 20 seconds gone now. And there is the kill. Some hesitation, perhaps, and a 3rd round for QB Fire.
I respect that from Simple. I think either there was a call from a teammate, or he just really heavily suspected someone played Banana, and he really committed to that. And that's how you win clutches. It doesn't always look magical and amazing, because sometimes you guess wrong, you deduce wrongly. But that was what he committed to do, and he really tried to fake out a player there in Banana. If there was someone there, James, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten the kill. But in this instance, there was not. And it's much needed around there for QB Fire. And this is what I want to see here. Waterfalls going with that AWP, potentially for fast peaks here. Ooh, and this is a smoke that's good for second mid pressure. It's pretty quick there, able to win the 1v1 against Simple, but the trade is there from Electronic as he pushes further forward. They know there's only one man on the site. Perhaps Jumika can't get into position in time, and there's an opening here, and Electronic is going to take it for Na'Vi.
Might need a molly towards the construction position if they can do it. There's a gap in a smoke. Jumka in around construction, taking Electronic down. Brave shot from Jumka, but he's gone out too wide. Gets away with murder, however. 2 CTs there. Do they perhaps boost over the smoke? Try and catch somebody rotating to New Fox? 2 Na'Vi players here, soon to be joined by Flamey as well. No boost from the CT side. Flashes through the smoke, but no kills in either direction. Zeus trying to look over it. Oh, that's a nice angle from Zeus. Spotting Boomich, but still no kills. Bomb getting planted. 4 versus 3 retake. But QB Fire so late on the rotation, but Velina's still on the A site.
And the health is an issue as well for some of these players, well, especially Jumka, Waterfall's burning as well, and with 2 orbs trying to retake this, it's going to be very, very difficult. They're going to have to make some crazy plays. The moment doesn't look like they're going to have too much time to do this. Edward able to take down Melina. Another frag off it up as Boomish peeks straight into him. And all of a sudden, it looks horrendous. The 2 orbs remaining. Flamey will happily relieve them of those AWPs. My goodness. QB Fire late on the rotation. Got absolutely ruined on their retake attempt. And now Na'Vi once again in a fantastic position to take full control of this game.
Yeah, it seemed QB5 didn't fully rotate until they absolutely saw the bomb. And then Flamey and Edward just wiping them out. They left ketchup everywhere, Dan, and did not even pay for their meal. 8-3, and QB Fire have another bye, which absolutely sucks. So this is another strong round, potentially, for Na'Vi. Edward, realizing the economical situation for his opponent, will be on a MAC-10 once again, trying to identify any shenanigans. Na'Vi will offer some grenades towards Banana, try and bait out any grenades from QB Fire, try and weaken the defense as much as they can. There's a big flashbang though from the CT side, but here comes the spray. The garden hose, only good for 2 from Electronic. Simple, does he re-aggress?
Very scary there. Simple's shaking around. Perhaps not happy with those misses, but they still have a very strong position. 3 versus 3. Oh, Edward over the smoke finds the header quick, and that's an open B bomb site, and they know it. Going to start sprinting into position as QB5 will try to do the same, but the smoke for CT is there, and the weaponry, the numbers simply is not Waterfall's. Tries to make the play for the smoke with a flash. Only gets 1 though for his troubles. Felina now can absolutely make something happen here, but it's going to be very difficult. Surely Edward will suspect this. And now both players turning their attention towards the smoke. Velina tries to find a timing, uses the timing of the Molotov being thrown there by Simple, but it's not going to work out. Another round to Na'Vi. Did look messy though.
9-3. QB Fire starting to run out of rounds to win on this first half of Inferno. Mirage is just a memory now. And it wasn't much of one for QB Fire. On the back foot, 1 map down already. Na'Vi 83% favored in the pick-em predictions. QB Fire on the pistols once more. Round number 13, so they may not go into the second half with much. Now it's Yuce's turn to be the MAC-10 boy, to run around, spray people in the face. The trusty smoke into CT. We have seen some gaps in that smoke, in fairness, so definitely one for the analyst to look at and fix for the team. First, the stronger team, you will be punished harder for such insolence.
There it is, starting the action of Flamey with first blood. Edward to follow, spraying him down with the AK. Oh, there's a shot missed from Flamey. Not sure I said that so far this game. And Jimka and Boomish last men standing. No guns for them though. Jimper surely not long for this world. Sitting there by the new box, volleyball position, easily taken down by Electronic. And now it's just Boomish. He'll be outed as well by Simple. 10 rounds to Na'Vi, 3 for Quantum Bellator Fire as they struggle to really get anything going. Of course, that was an eco round for them, a full eco, and now we're back in business. A prospect for 5 rounds, perhaps, to finish the half with. That's the only score that QB Fire can be playing for at this point. They've got Waterfalls back on the AWP, but once again, they're lacking the Incendiaries, James. They're always lacking something in these buy rounds. Their economy's been shredded the entire time. Yeah,
Waterfalls is naked in this round. He has no Kevlar whatsoever, which will compromise some of the early positions he may want to take, especially towards Banana, because he will be exposed to a multitude of grenades. But here he is, top mid, going for a cheeky frag towards the bench position. Gets away with it. These are the early frags that Quantum Bellator Fire need, but there are only 2 rounds for them to win in this half. 10-5 is, or 5-10 rather, is the best they can ask for. Ooh, that smoke. I don't think it collided with Electronic, but Jimka's good for the frag regardless.
Yeah, I thought it was going to collide as well, and of course it would make a sound cue give up the game, but somehow still it's all okay. And Quantum Bellator Fire hold on to the advantage and in fact increase it. Zeus making his way forward with the team now having to take top mid. They've got to do something. Waterfalls though turning his attention, connects that one towards Boiler. That's Edward blasted away. And Waterfalls looking to do more here already with the 2 very impactful frags as Zeus The in-game leader looks to try to find his way to success in this round. 2 versus 5. It's not an easy ask, but he's the one to try to find the answer. But it's Boomish with that answer, and that's the bomb as well. So all Flamey can do from this point is inflict maximum damage with that AWP. What will they offer him, though? There's one. Still 4 more to go, though.
33 seconds, so yes, it is all about damage. Jumka, the only man on the B-bomb site. And he will take the AWP for his troubles. A much-needed 4th round on the board for QB Fire. 1 more to get in this first half. Really aggressive pick there from Waterfalls. Not overextending too much, taking Simple by surprise. And there's a fast shot onto Edward as well. We've seen heroics from Waterfalls on the T side of Inferno. Not long to go until we'll see if he can do it again, but they definitely need this round number 5 here on Inferno.
I like the double up there, Jumka picking it up. That's fantastic to see. Waterfalls, he loves to be aggressive, takes a very deep and risky peek there through middle, gets the information. Either it's Banana or it's second mid. That is what that peek tells him at this early point of the round. You can see the rotation reflects this. On reaction of that information, they take the setup into apartments. A 2-man setup, 1 man on quad. They know they don't have to really touch Arch. There is a risk, but let's see if they can get the frags. Waterfalls, he's baited. Boomish goes down. This is very, very bad. It has to hit the shots. There's one from Waterfalls. The pressure's too great. They wrap through quad with great success. Na'Vi in the 3v2 on A.
QB maybe outstayed their welcome there in that aggressive position. Perhaps architects of their own downfall in this round. Quick and Jumka approaching the position. Na'Vi lie in wait. A very dangerous Na'Vi. Zeus in the boiler position. He's got the sound cues from Quick. He can simply wait until Quick has gone too far and then pop out just like that. And that leaves Jumka alone. He needs a heroic round here. He's got a defuse kit. There's Simple taken down. Going for a quick shoulder peek while the AWP warms up. Crosshair in the right place, but the box is maybe too deep and Zeus is just wasting time. Runs out and it's just too much to ask. 11-4 half for Na'Vi.
That's going to be a tough road back for Quantum Bellator 5, that's for sure. And it just seems like Na'Vi are on another level individually at the very least here, and they always have that to confidently fall back on. And we knew that QBF, they needed to have a strong CT side. We know that's where their strength lies. And honestly, that last round, I felt like they played it really well. Waterfalls took the risk to get the information, and then they knew because of the presence on Banana, they put the pieces together really quickly that it was Fast Apartments presence. They had a really good setup there, but Na'Vi were just ready for it. And QBF just didn't hit the shots they needed to. Boomish going down straight away. Na'Vi now in a great position, moving into the CT side. However, if QB5 can get that pistol rolling in, and if they can start to keep Na'Vi's economy under check, there is definitely a chance for them to get the ball rolling.
I do wonder, however, if Na'Vi will continue their ruthless aggression once it's time for the buy rounds.
One question, too, is how much respect Na'Vi will have for QBF when they're playing against them in these positions. For example, the CT side of Inferno, if you're going to play it correctly, you really need to have full utility. You need those incendiaries, and they're very expensive on the CT side, $600 a piece, as opposed to $400 for the Molotovs on the T side. And that's how you can take Banana control. And so if they're in a position where they lose the pistol, their economy's a bit fragile, and maybe they start making some weird monetary decisions, which in their buy rounds leads them to not having incendiaries. These are things that QB5 can use to their advantage if Na'Vi mismanage their money. And that's a question of lack of respect potentially as well, because Na'Vi may feel, hey, we just have the skill, we can just run in there, we don't need to have the grenades exactly.
We are about to get into the pistol. Velina will be the grenade man for QB5. Everybody else on Kevlar. Simple's gone for the dual elites. On the CT side, where the USP is often enough, he's having none of this. Simple's up for some cowboy nonsense. Dusk till dawn, perhaps. Edward with an instant flank. Oh boy, this gonna be bad. They know they can't push. They're trying to fight back down Banana, but there's nowhere to go. They are already surrounded and the cops are coming.
Simple's like, please, just go through the smoke. It won't be that bad, I promise. But it is certainly bad on the other end of things here. Just completely sandwiched. What a brilliant movement. And at least there is one kill for Simples. Dual Berettas. That's very cool to see.
Nice.
12-2 for Na'Vi in a fantastic position now. to start snowballing things out of control, but we've seen it many times this game already, this series, where the team that wins the pistol actually loses against the force buy in the following round. So let's see if the trend is broken as Na'Vi pick up the SMGs and Quantum Bellator fire on those CZs. They're very dangerous and sometimes they're basically rifles, CZs.
All right, then QB fire. Time is running out. The hourglass is starting to have all the sand fall to the bottom. Jimka taken down and barbecued after the fact. Flamey taken down elsewhere, getting aggressive. Down the middle of mid. Na'Vi showing no respect for their opponent at the moment. Electronic and Zeus still over towards the A-bomb site, but Na'Vi can't get too carried away in this position because if they underestimate their opponent, QB Fire could still surprise them in this T half. The bomb has been hidden this entire time towards the bottom of second mid. Simple holding an angle in CT. He may take Boo mid shout, but now they know where he is. And what do QB Fire do in response? The bomb has a journey to make towards the A site, and Simple's looking for it. Simple taken out by Waterfalls. So a very aggressive round from Na'Vi. I'll leave you to decide if it was necessary or not, but they've perhaps gifted around to QB Fire.
I mean, we can just take note that the way Simple played Banana. He's blocking his teammate when he runs out of bullets to peek deep with the Julies. That just tells you everything right there about this round for Na'Vi. They are just playing for the frags, and they got punished for it by Quantum Bellator 5. But it's on QBF to actually transfer that into something, convert it into something here, and they'll be up against the force buy of Na'Vi. And that's actually going to be much better, from an aggressive standpoint. But they have smoke grenades as well, so they could try to play this very slow and really sweat out QBF. See if they try to do that. Deep smoke on Banana as well. And one of the responses here for QB Fire is they actually just want to let all the grenades that the CTs are using from Na'Vi, just let those go away. Just let those smokes sit, let them go away, retake those positions later. You don't have to rush into anything.
One smoke left on Na'Vi and one flash for Simple. See a gathering of minds towards the arch position, and I do wonder if this flashbang will soon come into play. Edward left with little choice but to retreat. And interesting, QB Fire, they put a Molotov down in arch, but didn't really hold an angle to see if anybody's actually there. It's almost as if throwing the Molotov was a fake towards the A-bomb site, and it just abandoned it afterwards. Smoke towards construction. The Molotov missing from the Na'Vi push earlier on, perhaps. And there's one kill for either side. Some damage done. How many more CTs to fight with, though? All behind the smoke, so perhaps QB can make a reasonable round out of this now.
Definitely a really strong position for them. Na'Vi would love to get some extra kills, get some guns perhaps to save into the next round. That would be lovely, especially Quick's AK. He's only got 14 health. It looks like there'll be a smoke on CT here. And QB Fire, they do want to try to find a safe passage. They know that construction is not safe right now. They smoked off CT, so that is, they're slowly starting to drift players towards Banana. They've left only one into the side at the moment, which is Velina with the MP9. And he's going to make his escape now as well. So they found safe passage, but little do they know, Electronic is lurking with that CZ. There goes Flamey, and Velina doing the job that he had to do, staying there, making sure no shenanigans were at hand. And Electronic knows it's his time to strike. Can he get a frag? There's one. He knows there's a second player hiding, and that's all he can get. Very nicely done from Electronic.
Na'Vi now double the score of their opponent, and roughly $2,000. We look towards Bellator Fire to weather the storm. 2 CZs on the map for the time being. This can still be a dangerous round. And the way Na'Vi have been playing, I think every round is dangerous for QB Fire, regardless of the situation on their opponent's side. Many of the Na'Vi players high on the kills. Kind of standard setup here from Na'Vi with what they have. But the crab walk stand, they're crab walking through the apartments.
And they are. It's going to be hard to find much without any Kevlar. They don't really have much sustainability. Zeus is, though, one of the mans with one of the 2 men with Kevlar.
One of the mans, yeah?
One of the mans.
You're on the filthy streets of London, there.
Back in London, yeah.
One of the mans.
Well, I mean, this is another thing as well. Like, you don't have to go through apps. There's something you don't have to do, and if you do decide to, you can, of course, use utility to make it easier, but very slow, diligent stuff here from QB Fire has allowed them to clear all the very naughty spots that the CTs may be hiding in to surprise them.
They may have to eliminate the pit position later on. I think Electronic is creeping there. Flaming's being taken down. That takes a crossfire array, but that's the bomb, of course. And a potential gun to be picked up, but Quick is there. Do QB Fire spend some time disposing of this? They still have Jimka standing in the middle of Banana. And it seems they are heading over to join him, but he may have to go ahead to see what's going on, although he doesn't know what's around that corner. So it is scary territory now for QB Fire. And I'm not sure if they managed to dispose of those weapons, and they've missed the CT smoke. You can never miss this smoke. It's cost them another one. They could have saved it for later, but that is nerves right there. That's a smoke you just don't miss.
Yeah, you don't want to be seeing that. Like, it's not going to impact the round, but it's just like you just don't want to see a missed smoke. It's not. It
doesn't bode well for the rounds to come, because to me that says either a nervous player or a sloppy player. Neither of those are good for your team when you're playing against Na'Vi.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really big deal. Either way, the round shall be claimed, and we're starting to see some rounds, accumulated for QB Fire here. They'll be moving to 7. And of course, that's only a mere 5 away from where Na'Vi stand at the moment. So definitely chances ahead for them. But of course, Zeus has managed to keep hold of an AK-47. And the next round will be the 3rd loss in a row, which will give Na'Vi quite enough money to buy. It's $2,400 for the consecutive round loss. And as we can see, that's going to land them all around $4,000. Just a bit of surplus there. With the guns saved and the Kevlar saved, they're going to be in great stead here now to have a very formidable buy round against Quantum Bellator Fire. So looking to see some good fundamentals now from QB Fire on this T side to start working away some of those Na'Vi bits of map control, in particular Banana. I think that's very crucial.
No sniper rifle for Na'Vi in this round. They've got a good amount of grenades on their buy round. So now we're into the second half. For those of you in GoTV, Waterfall's definitely an important man, a key man for QB Fire on the T side. And for Na'Vi, I'm still looking at Simple and Flamey. Big grenades! Oh my god, it's napalm, it's cluster bombs, banana bombs, everything. QB Fire have taken colossal damage. That is a terrible start for them.
I think that spray just dinked one of the players by Pit as well. That is immense damage before even seeing players. That is very, very problematic for QB Fire. Now they're sort of in desperation mode. You've got 2 players that can't do anything. They can't really enter, they can't really support. But that could be a mistake. Going for the peek there, I'm not sure if there was a flash to assist that peek. You can see there's a bit of frustration there.
Yeah, he looked annoyed with his teammate.
Yeah.
It's like, why have you done this? I can't believe you've done this. This is not the point where you can give advantages away. You can't be over-aggressive. Na'Vi need to focus. You need to retain this discipline. Such an important thing to have, because it can get you into trouble. And what if QB Fire start to come back? What if they win this round? What if they reset? Well, put Na'Vi back on the eco position. People are going to get more frustrated, and that could compound itself. But let's see. Wall of smoke at the front of the B bomb site. Now, you can take a risk and try to plant the bomb in the front. Old school Fnatic strat where they used to run into construction, but Jimka walks in alone. Now, he just walked in quietly, and there's nothing behind his push. So QB Fire need to move fast with this fake if they are to actually sell it. But they weren't really in forward positions on the A site, and risks have to be taken. Electronic now jumping into the pit position. Zeus is on the site. The Molotovs are here to buy time. QB Fire get a frag, but this is becoming a really big problem. Waterfall's 15 HP, 12 seconds to plant a bomb. He's not safe. Edward will stop him from doing it. And there is the round for Na'Vi. It seemed like a half commitment on that fake from QB Fire, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, that was a pretty messy round from both teams, all things considered. Again, as you mentioned, the sort of frustration from Edward there initially, just going for this crazy peek. There's the peek. I think there was actually a flashbang with that, so that's actually fine. But still, a position to work with for QB Fire. They go for the fake, doesn't pan out. That is, as you say, that was one of the most key rounds that QB Fire had to win, because now their money's in a really awful place. They cannot offer up a buy in this round. That's going to give Na'Vi an easy rounds in this position. That's going to be 14. They'll be 2 away from winning this series and into the final semi-finals against FaZe. So it's do or die now for Quantum Bellator Fire. And as you say, they've decided to go all in.
Waterfalls has been dropped in AWP by Boomich, and this is why he is the man to watch in GoTV. He has to make it work. He's the man to deliver the kills, to open things up. But then QB Fire, they've got to have that mid-round, they've got to have that late round to convert on any openings that they get here. Waterfalls charging up the second mid position. 3 will begin in the B bomb site, deploying the grenade. The pre-fire is there from Junka. We've seen him land these kills before, but not against Na'Vi, not this time.
Yeah, they will be ready for that. That's something he was doing so very often. And they've done their research clearly. They've been watching the demos of QBF here. Now, they're up in middle. They can work from this position. Flamey, though, denies waterfalls. That's another critical pick. Another play that could have made the difference here for QB5. They're running out of players. They're running out of guns. All the good guns are out of the round. Down to the CZs, down to the UMP. But Electronic and Zeus have a great setup here. And there's just surely nothing that can be done from QB5's perspective. A clean round from Na'Vi to make it 14 on the board. 2 away now from a semi-final spot at this major here in Boston.
Na'Vi sending QB Fire back to the internet cafe, Dan, the way things are going at the moment. Pistols once again, is that BM? I thought it was good. 7-14, pistols for QB Fire. Not a good situation for them.
Few bits of utility here and there to try to get them some positions, get them into some fragging scenarios as we see Flamey holding top mid. There's lots of players potentially coming his way. He's got the AWP. This is awkward. Misses a shot. Out comes the pistol. He's going to have to fall back behind that smoke. It actually helps him out. I think QBF just saved Flamey's life with their own smoke. And now they can fall back into position. And once again, it's clean. The defensive A is unmovable. Na'Vi strong here, looking for that match point. Junka, the last man, the last bastion in this round with a Deagle and 17 health. It does not look good for him. There's no way out, James.
There's no way out. Just has to look at a tired rug on the floor and wait for his own demise, and he will lie on that rug. That rug is not comfortable in the slightest. Match point for Na'Vi, looking at a solid 2-0 victory here in Boston. QB Fire with 2,400 per person. A UMP, a CZ here, a CZ there, a Deagle, some grenades. They may have to play a spawn-based tactic at this point. Try and catch people off guard on Banana. Try and get ahead of the grenades, perhaps. See what they choose to do. Junka seems to have the spawn once again. Molotov going towards the barrels, but there are 2 CTs coming down Banana, and Electronic has had quite enough. He's got somewhere to be. Only good for the 1 kill though, but it's useful trade. That's the bomb now in an exposed position. Velina just trying to stay alive, trying to survive. And Zeus will take his teammates out. And there is Flamey in apartments. And that is the final frag. Na'Vi with a monstrous victory here in Boston over QB Fire. Dominant victory from start to finish. Great performance as they move on in the tournament.
Yeah, it really was such a display of skill and composure from Na'Vi, and into a semi against FaZe. What a matchup that's going to be. I cannot wait for that. But this is not the end of QB Fire as well. I think they have so many things to be proud of in this tournament. I cannot wait to see what else they'll bring back into the next major after securing a legend spot.
Yeah, to get to this point was a fantastic performance by QB Fire in the first place, and I'm sure they'll take a lot of experience away from this into the next major. They are legends after all. Guys, give it up for QB Fire! And there are the statistics. Great support from the crowd here for both teams. Outstanding performance by Na'Vi. Absolutely nuclear statistics from Flamey. Quite enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it changes everything, I think, because some of these individual performances is what's been sort of missing and sort of here and there, but never consistent in Na'Vi in their previous iterations, or rather previous tournaments with this iteration of the lineup. This is nothing but pure excitement, I think. Looking at this brand and everything they've accomplished in the past, it's going to be so impressive to watch them now on the next stage.
Over to the stage where Sue is with Flamey.
Thank you very much, James. Congratulations, Flamey. Na'Vi have made it to the top 4 here at the E-League Major. Especially after a shaky start during the qualifier, how much more does this mean to the team?
It means a lot for us because we did a very much work. We we just, I don't know, just practice every day after every game. So I'm happy that we managed to make it to semifinal.
Well, Flamey, I also wanted to personally congratulate you. You just set the world record for the most frags in a single half at a major. That is absolutely phenomenal. How does it feel to single-handedly destroy a team?
I didn't expect a game like this, but I'm happy that I did it. So I don't know. I hope I will make a new record again.
Well, hopefully you can keep this performance going because up next you'll be going up against FaZe. Do you think you can get revenge on them for the loss you had during the qualifier?
I think FaZe right now is maybe the best team in the world, so it would be very hard for us, but we will do everything we can do to win this.
All right, well, congratulations again, Flamey, and best of luck. Guys, we are headed to a short commercial break, but stay tuned because after the break, we have G2 versus Cloud9.